All right. So as part of manual testing project, so let's recap what we have done so far. So we have seen the project introduction and we have understand the functionalities. Then we prepared the test plan, and also we have seen how to write the test scenarios and test cases, requirement traceability matrix. And in the previous session, I have shown you how to set up the environment and build deployment. And this will be changed like one application to another application. So it will not be the same every time for every application. And today we are going to focus on test execution and bug reporting and tracking. So these are the two very, very important items which we need to focus on: test execution, bug reporting, and tracking. Okay. So whatever test cases we have already created and approved by the team or management, we have to execute the test cases on the application. So whatever the build or application we have deployed on your QA environment, we have to use only that application. So we should not execute test cases anywhere else. So not in developed environment or any other environments. We have to dedicate a separate environment for the testing. So only on that environment we have to conduct the testing. So on that environment we have to execute our test cases. Okay. So once what is a prerequisite when you start a test execution is we need to have test cases ready and they should be approved. And the second thing is the build also should successfully install and smoke testing should pass. Smoke testing or sanity testing should pass. And then we can accept the build and we'll continue the testing. So suppose if your test case is not ready or not yet approved, we should not start the testing. But other thing is, if the build is not properly installed or smoke testing got failed, then also you should not start the testing. You have to reject the build and wait for another build from developer. Then you have to start the testing if the smoke testing is got passed. Okay, they are the prerequisites. And while test execution, you have to follow the testing cycle. Like as per the test plan, in the test plan you have mentioned the schedule, all the dates. So when you have to perform the smoke testing and how many bills you have to receive and what is the duration of regression testing, duration of functional testing, we need to follow accordingly. So as per the test plan, whatever schedules we mentioned and how many cycles we defined, accordingly we have to follow. And test execution will happen in multiple cycles, not only one or two cycles. And while executing the test cases, if you find any mismatch between your expected result and actual result in the application, then you can consider that as a bug and we report that bug to the developer. And the bug reporting can be again multiple ways. But in the previous days, people use some templates like Excel file or MS Word document. They put all the details about the bug and what is the bug ID, description, steps to be reproduced, priority, severity, and attach some screenshots. And that information will send to developer every day. At the end of the day, suppose if you find 10 or 5 to 6 bugs a day, you will mention all the bug list in the Excel file and you will send that template to the developer. But that's the old process. Now people are using the bug tracking tools or defect tracking tools. So based on that, by using those tools we can report the defect. So as soon as they are basically web based tools, and the bug id automatically created once as I click on the new, and then you will fill all the information in the form like bug related information, and once you submit it, that bug is details automatically go to developer, and developer will look at all the details and accordingly he will update the statuses for that particular bug. So that is the actual process we follow in the companies nowadays. No one is using templates. Okay, remember. Okay, but initially I'll also show you the template. We'll start with the template. I'll show you how to prepare the bug report and how you can place all the bugs and everything. And once you start a Jira, right, in the coming sessions, I'll discuss about agile process along with the Jira tool. And then there I will show you how we can report the bugs in the Jira. Okay, so because we can also report the bugs in Jira, we can do everything in the Jira tool. We can write our test cases, we can update the execution status, we can report the bugs, we can track the bugs, everything we can do in the Jira tool. So it is not only agile tool, we can also track all testing activities in Jira tool. So in the coming session, I'll show you how we can report the bugs in the Jira tool. But for now, I'm just going to show you how we can place all the bug information in the Excel sheet template, and then we'll proceed further. Okay, so that is a plan. So test execution and bug reporting and tracking. So we are going to see these are the two main important steps today. And then we will discuss something about sanity testing, retesting, regression testing, and finally sign off. Okay, these are the phases. Now let us start with test execution. So yesterday we already installed the build, right? So let us see whether our application is up and running. So for that, what I have to do is we need to first open exam control panel, and we need to start Apache and MySQL services, right? These two always up and running. So we need to start Apache. I'm starting, and then so after starting my Apache, then I'll start MySQL. Now click on MySQL. Now both are starting. So once it's started, so then you can just minimize this control panel. Now try to open application. So let me share the document. Yesterday we have deployed. Let me open the document. Okay, I already provided URLs also. So as soon as you start those two services, your application will up and running. So this is a front end URL. So remember always guys, so we use these URLs. This is a front end URL. And to connect to the database, we also have an URL. Let me take that URL, database URL. Okay, so here, so this is a database URL. So if you want to, and you can also use any other client like SQL Workbench or any other client to connect to the MySQL database. Not only this web UI, this is a like a web client interface. I'll also show you that. So just a moment. So this is a database. Okay, so these are the two URLs which we are going to use for testing. So let's cross check our application is running or not. So let's go to browser, open this URL. Okay, so now perfect. So now my application is running now, and also cross check the database is up and running. Open this URL and open this URL on the browser. Yeah, now my database is also up and running. Suppose if you want to see these databases and tables in your own client, like if you are install MySQL separately, you will get a client applications. Means what? You can connect to the database through client applications. Like SQL Workbench is a one of the client, which is popular client for MySQL. And if you want to connect to the database through that client, you can still connect to that. For example, you can just look at here, MySQL Workbench. So this is a small application which will automatically comes when you install MySQL separately, not from the exams. Okay, if you are already have MySQL installed previously, you can use this client. And but for this client, you don't need to run MySQL services. Okay, so make sure you should not run multiple instances of MySQL in the same machine, because MySQL is already running through XAMPP. That is one instance. And if you already installed MySQL previously, the complete software, you should stop those services. Okay, if both are running, both will not work. So if you're working with this application, a MySQL should run through XAMPP application. Okay, and this client will automatically comes through your MySQL installation. Previously, what I have done, if I just open this client, I'll show you how to connect to the database without this client, because this is not that much comfortable to write the queries and executing the queries. So I'll show you how we can connect to the database through MySQL Workbench. And here we need to connect, we need to create a new connection to connect to the database. So if I just look at here, there are multiple connections I created. Even for OpenCut application also, I created one connection here. So to connect, to establish a new connection, what I have to do is we need to just go to the file and you can say connect to the database, and you will find a small window like this. And here you have to provide the connection details and take the give some name, stored connection name, and connection method and host name. You can provide your local machine like local host, or you can say 127.0.0.0.1. So this is a host name of local machine. Or if your database is installed in some remote locations, then you have to provide that IP address of that machine. And this is the port number of MySQL and username. There is no password. That's it. So you can provide our schema. That means your database name, open cart. And then you say okay, then automatically it will establish a connection. So that's why I have created this connection, open cart. So once you click on this, so it is trying to connect. So you can just say continue anyway, and then you can see it is connected, right? So it is connected, and by default, you will not get this query window. I'm just closing this. Okay, now you can see this particular window. So this is a MySQL Workbench client, which will use to connect to the database. And you can see here, open shop schema is created, and you can see all the tables. And this is more comfortable for the user to execute all the queries and see the data, everything. And to write any queries, you can use query editor here. You can just look at the last first icon and create a new SQL tab for executing the queries. You can just click on this, the new tab will be open, and here you can execute the query. So for example, I just want to browse one table. So first we need to go to open shop. So use command, use open cart. So what this command will do is, which will set up the database. It will point to the open shop database or schema. And then if you want to browse the table, I can say select a star from OC underscore the table name. OC underscore, there is a table called customer. You can just look at here somewhere. OC underscore customer is table is there. So if I just look at this, this is a query. If I execute this, you will get the details. If this particular table is having some data, we will get it. Okay, what it is saying, no database selected. Okay, first we need to execute this command. It is pointing to the database, unknown database, open cart. It is saying open shop. It is not open cart. It is open shop. Okay, so first point to the database. Yeah, now it is pointed. Now execute this query. So now I don't have any data as of now because this is a fresh application we have just installed. So all the columns you can see, but currently we don't have any data. If you register a new customer, then you can see the data in this table. Okay, so you can browse all the data from this database. So instead of using this particular UI, you can use this client to execute all the queries. If you're not there, if you don't have this client, no problem at all. You can also execute the queries on the UI. So if you want to execute the queries on this, what you can do is you can just go to SQL. There is an option here called SQL. Click on this, then you will get the query editor. So here you can execute, run SQL query or queries on the server. So same queries you can execute here. So I'm just copying this and put it here. First execute, select this and click on the go. And after that, again go to SQL. Sorry, just a moment. Okay, so this is the query which is executed. Actually, return an empty result set. So you can see there are columns, but there is no data here. So, okay. So like this, we can execute queries from the UI or client. So this is a basic understanding. All right. So I can just minimize this, not require this client. And if you still want to use, you can use it, no problem. So this is our application currently running. So now we'll see how we can execute our test cases and how to find the bugs. So we already created test cases template, right? So we already updated all the test cases. So you have to make another copy. Okay, so the same Excel file, just make it another copy. And here you can just look at here, change the name of the file, open cart test execution results. Same set of test cases and write the test execution result, because in this particular Excel file, we will update the results. Okay, while executing the test cases, we will update the pass or fail or something. Parallelly, we will also report the bugs. And this is a one Excel sheet. Make it ready. And this is a version, same test scenario, same test cases, whatever we have done earlier, same sheet. Okay, but here additionally, we will update the results column. But just look at the register test cases, same test case, no change at all. But the last column, you can find one column. But right, while writing the test cases, we put that column is empty. So here, actual result, priority, result, comment. So these fields are empty while writing your test cases. Now this is the time we have to update these columns while executing the test cases. And parallelly, after executing the test cases, after a test case is executed, if it is passed, then we'll update the result as a passed, and pass. And then apart from this, if suppose it is something is got failed, we'll update the fail status here, and we'll specify the bug id. And parallelly, we'll also prepare the bug report and prepare one more excel file. Okay, this is a bug report template, open card bugs. So these are the different bugs I have mentioned in one sheet. You can keep or add more number of bugs. And as soon as you executed your test case, if you find any mismatch between expected and actual, just fail it, update file, and write the bug ID here. And to refer this bug information, you have to prepare one more Excel file. And here, this is a bug ID, and you have to prepare some data. So what are the fields we need to have in the bug report is bug ID. Every bug is having a unique ID, description or summary within 1 or 2 lines, and steps to reproduce. If you want to reproduce the bug, what are the steps to be performed? And when you perform these steps, what you are expecting from the application, what is actual behavior of the application, that is a expected actual result. And if these two are the different, and then we have to report the bug. So this is a bug information, and then we have to assign the severity to that bug, how much severe it is, how it will impact the business, or how it will impact the application. So that we need to specify severity and priority. So how soon you want to fix that bug by the developer, and then we have to specify the priority. And if screenshot is required, so you can just capture the screenshot and you can attach the screenshot to the bug report. So when you're using the tool while reporting the bugs, you will use the tool. So along with this information, you will also attach the screenshot. Okay, so this is a information which we need to keep in the bug report. And these two activities parallelly should go. So execution, as soon as you found some bug, and then write the bug information in this sheet. At the end of the day, you can send this bug report to the developer, but that is not exact process nowadays we follow. We report this bug through tool, like we use some Jira or DevTrack or Bugzilla. There are so many tools are there in the market, and by using the tool, and the tools, again, web-based application, they'll install in the somewhere in the server, developers, testers, everybody will able to access the tool. And then open the tool and click on the new, fill all this information and submit. That's it. The bug will go to developer. As soon as you found the bug, you can immediately report. You don't need to wait till end of the day. Okay, as soon as you found a bug, you can just report to the developer. So, and at the end of the day, you can just prepare one bug report, like on that particular day how many bugs you reported. Then you can consolidate the report like this, and you can send to the management. So this is the process, guys. Okay, we'll see how to report the bugs in the tool. I'll explain about Jira tool, I'll show you that. So for now, let us follow this document. Okay, template. So this is a bug report template, guys. What is a bug report template? Is having description, summary, step to reproduce, expected result, actual, severity, priority. And the main important fields I have written here. There are other fields also there, resolution criteria lab, or uh, developer will provide their opinion also. Okay, so all the information will be there along with the screenshots. So everything we have to specify. Okay, so this is a bug report and execution report. Now let us see how we can execute the test cases. So to execute the test cases, we need to keep ready all of our test cases. And first I'll open my registration test cases. So how to execute the test cases? Just we need to read the title and prerequisite and test case steps. So whatever steps we have written, so we have to just execute the steps as it is. So what is the first step? Click on my account drop menu. So I already opened my application. So first read entire test case. So when you click on the drop menu, you will see the register option. Click on the register, then enter new account details into mandatory fields, and then click on the continue. When you click on the continue, ER1 means expected result 1. What is that? User should be logged in, taken to account success page, and proper details should be displayed. So first let us try till here. Okay, whether it's working fine or not, we will check. So first go to my account. So this is my account. Click on register. Yeah, now I got the register form. And what they are saying, they're saying enter the only mandatory fields, and then click on the continue. So what are the mandatory fields here? First name, last name, email, telephone, password, password confirm, and privacy policy field. If I just look at here, privacy policy, there is no star mark, but this is a mandatory field as per our test case. Now let us try to enter those details. So here I'm entering the, let's say first name, I'll say Scott, and I'll say, so okay, so let me just give some names, Scott, some ABC, and then I'll say something email, Scott at the rate gmail dot. You can give any email. So phone number, I'm just giving some dummy data. So 1 2 3 4 4, because we already have another test cases to verify each and every field also, right? So for now I'm just entering the common data 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So some number I'm giving, and password, so I'm just giving password test 1 2 3 and test 1 2 3. Okay, and all mandatory fields I have given and the privacy policy is selected, and then I'm click on continue. Okay, so now I have click on continue. So now we have seen something, and whether it is expected or not, let's cross check again. So go to the execution report, and here, okay, just a moment. Yeah, so here what you are expecting after clicking on the first continue button, our expectation is this one. User should be logged in, taken to account success page, and the proper details should be displayed on the page. So now you can just look at here, the account has been created. Now you can also, it is automatically logged in actually. If I just look at here, the options also changed. So once you logged into the application, then only you can see this option. Previously, we have seen only register and login, but this time we have seen multiple options, and because we already logged into the application successfully, and also it is giving proper message. So congratulations, your new account has been successfully created. So till this perfectly fine. Expected actually is matching. Now the next step. So click on the continue button that is displayed in the account success page. So this is my account success page. And if I click on the continue again, so now what should happen? So the second expectation, user should be taken to account page and a confirm email should be sent to the registered email address. So now should be taken to the account page. So this is our account page, my account page, right? So it is perfectly fine. So what is the next expectation? Users should be taken to the account page and confirm email should be sent to the registered email address. Confirm email should be sent to the registered email address. And this is also most important thing. So as soon as your registration done, you have to cross check your email. So whether uh, your account is successfully created or not. And if your email is properly getting, then you can say test case is passed, and both expectations should match, or else you have to fail the test case. So currently the email mechanism we don't have, because we need to set up a separate server for that, like a fake or mock email server. Then you will get the email at the time of registration. Whatever email you provided, you will get the confirmation message to that email. So you need to also verify that. So this is the expected result, what we are expecting. Now we'll see actual result. So user got logged in, taken to account success page successfully, and proper details got displayed on the page. So first expected result is fine. Now the second one is user is taken to account page and confirm email received at the registered email address. You have to check this later, okay? And but we don't have this mechanism, but we'll assume that. So we have received successful email, and then we can make the test cases got passed. Okay, so this is, if you set up the email server, automatically you'll get the email. So but we don't have that setup as of now, so we can assume we'll get some email confirmation email. So this is a pass. So if expected and actual both are same, and then we will specify actual result, we will update after execution. After executing the test case, this is our expected result, but after execution, what is the actual result in the application? So that also we need to update here, and then update the result as a pass. Update result as a pass. Okay, so this is how we need to execute each and every test case what you have written. And second test case, what it is, click on the my account drop down menu, click on the, we'll see the failure test case. Yeah, second one is failure. Now we'll see why it is getting failure. Right, so test case title, validate thank you for registering email sent to the registered email address as confirmation for registering the account. As I said before, in the first test case, we haven't seen the any email, but that we have a separate test case for that. So this test case, we will fail it because we haven't get any email for that. So validate, thank you for registering email sent to the registered email address as confirmation as a confirmation for registering the account. So we need to also verify the email once you register the account. So same steps you have to perform just like a first step. And if I just look at here again, click on my account drop menu and register option, enter new account details into mandatory fields, click on continue button, check the email address used for registering the account. And here multiple expectations we have. And if I just look at here, so check the email address used for registering the account, verify ER1, ER2, ER3. So first expectation is what? Validate a confirmation email for registering the account is sent to the registered email address or not. First, we have to check whether we got email or not. That's the first expectation. Second expectation is what? Validate the email subject, body, and from address of the received email. And the third verification is what? Validate there is a link in the login page. There is a link to the login page provided in the email body. So whatever the confirmation email you got, in that email body, you can see the a link. When you click on that link, it should navigate to the login page. That is another expectation. So these three expectations should be matched when executing the fourth step. And then sixth step, click on the login page link from the email body. So once you get an email, there is which includes a login page link. So once you click on that link on your email, that will automatically navigate to your login page, your application. So this is the fourth step. So these are the fourth step. So these three first two are perfectly fine, which is also verified. But here we not received any email to the registered email address. So this is a bug which is already there in this application. So you have to check this, okay? And then this we have to consider as a bug. So rest of the steps are working fine. Even single step is got failed, we have to make entire test case got failed. Okay, all the steps should pass. So now this test case is got failed. So now what you have to do is we need to go here and write a fail message and open another sheet, another Excel file, bug report, and write the bug information. So write the same bug ID and write the description here. Thank you for registering email not received to the registered email address after registering the account. So this is the description. So while seeing the description, developer will able to understand what exactly the defect is. Then steps to reproduce. So how we can reproduce the bug? So we have to write a few number of steps. So developer also will reproduce the bug in their environment by executing these steps. So open the application URL, click on my account drop down menu, select the register option, enter the new user valid details and into register account page, and then select the policy checkbox option, click on continue button. So when you perform these steps, then automatically the user should get the email. That's what expected here, but actually it's not. User account is getting created, but email with the subject thank you for registering is not received to the register email address. Now what is the severity and priority for this? This is most important, guys. So whenever you report a bug, we need to specify the severity and priority. So severity says the impact. Severity says the impact, how much impact, how much impact it is, the impact of the bug. And the priority means the importance of the bug, how soon you want to fix that. So we have already seen severities and priorities. What are the severity types? Critical, major, minor. So they are the severity, right? So critical, major, minor. And it is not a critical issue, right? So because if account itself is not creating, not able to create, then that is a critical, that's a blocker. But here account is creating, only thing is we are not getting the email. Okay, we are not getting the email means it is not a blocker, but that is a major functionality. So getting the confirmation email is a major functionality, but that is not a critical, it is not a blocker. If our account itself is not creating properly, then we have to give as a critical. Okay, so now it is a major severity which will impact the business application. So we should get an email, confirmation email. It is creating the account, But how we will confirm, how we will know whether account is properly created or not? By seeing the confirmation message itself on the application, we cannot confirm. By seeing the email, we will confirm. So that is a functionality, major functionality in the application. So we have to give major severity. It is a not a critical, it's a major, because functionality itself is not working. And how soon you want to fix it? I say P1, which is a medium. So I say P0, P1, P2. There are three priorities we can give. P0 means immediately how to fix, high priority. P0. P1 means P0 means high priority, means without fixing that bug, you cannot proceed further. So developer has to fix that bug immediately within few hours. In that case, you have to give P0, high priority. But this is not a high priority because this bug can also fix later, like 1 or 2 days, because this is not that much priority. So I can just give P1, medium priority. Okay, because that is a severity and priority. So this is how we need to write a bug details. And wherever that we should also capture the screenshot if required, or else you can leave. So this is how we need to write all the bugs information. Similarly, again go back to the execution page and try to execute the rest of the test cases. Now you can just read other test cases like this, each and every test case, read all the steps, and we have to execute those steps, and then compare expected and actual result. If it is passed, update as a pass, and if it is a fail, update it as the failed. Now let us focus on the failure defect. So there is one more failure bug, let us see that. So here I think this is the test case also got failed. Now let's see why it is getting failed. So validate registering an account by providing an invalid phone number. So validate registering an account by providing invalid phone number. Okay. And you can just look at these steps, click on my account drop down, register. Again, we have to provide all the details, but here thing is we have to provide invalid phone number. This is the negative test case. Invalid phone number means you can provide all format, different formats of phone numbers. You have to prepare some test data for that. Okay. And then what is our expected is account should not be created. Instead, a proper warning message should be displayed. This is our expectation. And warning message is not getting displayed. Instead, the account is getting created with the given invalid phone number. So this is another bug. See, so let us try and how we can check it. Let's go to our application, and I'm logging out again. So again, I'm trying to create a new account. So go to my account, register, and this time I'm just giving the invalid phone number. Let's give some name, ABC, XYZ, something, anything is fine. Some dummy data. So email.com. Telephone is should be invalid. So he can just say some characters. This is incorrect, right? ABC 123. So this is an invalid phone number, and it is not giving any warning message. And password I'm giving 123, and here 123 something I'm giving. So now observe this. When I click on the continue, so which is created. So this is incorrect, right? So as per our expectation, it should not create. It should not create. But what happening? Even though if you are providing the invalid phone number, it is creating the account. It is not giving any warning message. So that is the reason we have to fail the test case. So warning message is not getting displayed. Okay. Instead the account is getting created with the given invalid phone number. So there is another bug we reported. Okay, fail. So let's see the bug now. Go to another bug report. Bug number 2. So user is able to register an account by providing an invalid phone number, and steps to reproduce. And what we are expecting is warning message should be displayed, but that is not displayed. So now come to the severity and priority. So what could be the severity and priority for this bug? Severity is again major. Account is creating, only the phone number is not correct. So functionality is working, but it is not giving proper message. Phone number is invalid. So we can give it as a major, and also priority is a medium, P1. So we no need to fix immediately, but later also we can fix it. It is not a blocker. If it is a blocker, we have to say critical. but the functionality is going fine. Only thing is it is accepting invalid data. So we can give it as a major. So functionality is broken. So we should not accept invalid phone number. So it is a major. Functionality is impacted. But priority is P1. We don't need to fix immediately. Later also we can fix it. So that is a P1. We can give priority. So this is how we need to write all the bugs while executing your test cases. Okay. Okay. So one more important thing here is whenever you reporting the bug to the developer, right? So immediately, as soon as you found some mismatch, immediately don't report the bug. Okay. So we need to follow certain process. Like suppose if you see any mismatch behavior between expected and actual, try to execute the steps at least 3 times. Okay. If you find any mismatch, try to execute the same steps at least 3 times, minimum 3 times, 2 to 3 times. And every time it is giving an error, or every time it is not working as per your expectation, then at least second trial what you can do is try the same test case, execute the same test case in some other machine or some other environment. Okay, so confirm that. So everywhere, if it is not working, and then report that bug and do some analysis also, guys. Okay, don't blindly blame the developer. So as soon as the bug is not working, okay, as soon as some test case is not working, so do some kind of analysis why it is not working. Okay, suppose this is a happy flow test case, so only UI steps we have. Sometimes the database related test cases will be there. So then what you have to do, you will enter some data or submit the data from the UI, and you are getting some confirmation message, but in the database the data is not updated. Okay, in those cases you have to do some analysis on the bug. Immediately don't go to the developer and report the bug. Sometimes your database connection configuration is not correct. Sometimes your environment issue will be there, so you should not blame the developer immediately. Okay, but the function is working fine. Instead of establish the connection between your UI and the database, connection is not properly done. Because of that reason, you are sending the data, you are getting confirmation message, but in the database table data is not updated because of database connection not properly set up. So that is your environment issue, not the application issue. Sometimes you have to also analyze the root cause. Okay, and once it is confirmed, okay, there is no bug in there is a bug in the application, that's sure. Once you are sure about the bug and collect all the information along with the screenshots and everything, then report the bug to the developer. So don't blindly go and report to the developers. So maybe internet people ask you, so once you found the bug, what you will do? Once you found the bug, what you will do? So don't say immediately I'll report to the developer. Okay, so you do some work from your side. So you have to check at least that I'll execute the test case at least 2 to 3 times and multiple environments, and I'll cross check whether it is working fine or not. And also I will check the environment connection details. Okay, and finally, everywhere and every time the bug is reproducible, then we report the bug to the developer along with the screenshot and description and all other necessary information. Okay, so that's how we need to report the bug. So like this we can execute the rest of the test cases whatever we have written in the test case document. So this is one test case got failed, and there is one more test case got failed here. And whatever test cases got passed, I'm not going through them, you guys can test them. And I'm just showing you only failures. Okay, yeah. So this is the one more bug. So validate all the mandatory fields in the register account page are marked with the red color star symbol. This is a kind of a UI test case. Star mark symbol should be there for mandatory fields. And what are those? Check the fields: first name, last name, telephone, password, confirm password, and privacy policy. These are the mandatory fields. This is the UI test case, guys. Okay, and what is our expectation? All the specific fields in the test steps should be marked with the star color, star red symbol. But what is our expected? Let's test this. First of all, let's go to the application and first log out and then register. Now you can see here almost every field is having star mark except this one, privacy policy. So this doesn't have the star mark. So that I have considered as a bug. If I just look at here, privacy policy field is not marked with the red color. Now what is a, it is a fail actually. So this is a bug ID. Now let us see the bug. Just go to the bug report and bug number 3. You can just look at here. So this is a description. Privacy policy checkbox field in register account page is not marked with the red color symbol, and these are the steps to be reproduced. Expect a result, actual result, and now CVRT and priority. So CVRT I have given as a minor and the priority I given as a P2, low priority. So why? Because most of the times guys, UI related bugs comes under minor or fall under minor, because that will not impact any functionality of the application. Okay, your application still working fine without any blocker. So we can just give minor. Severity level is very minor, and priority is also low for now. So priority always changes guys. Okay, but suppose let me just tell you one example. You have 10 days of time. You have 10 days of time to complete the testing. Let us say in the day number 2, in the day number 2, you found some bug. Suppose let us assume the same bug. So star symbol is not there, and this bug you found in the day 2. So on that particular day, what priority you can give to that bug? You can say P2, low priority, very low priority. Okay, but developer is not fixed that bug till day 9, and day 10 you have to release the build, or next you have to sign off the testing, you have to exit the testing day 10, but still the developer is not fixed the bug, then the priority will be the high, because tomorrow I have to release the product to the customer, but still bug is not fixed. Even though there is a minor bug, you have to fix it before delivering to the customer. So in the day 2 the priority is a P2, low priority, but if developer is not fixed for many days, okay, once you reaching the testing dead time is like ninth day or 8th day, so the priority will be automatically increase. So once the deadline is coming slowly, then the priority will be increased. Okay, that is always not the stable, but severity is always stable. So when you provide minor, major, whatever, that is a fixed. No one should change the severity, but priority can be changed by the developer, by the tester, by the managers. Anybody can change the priority according to the project release timelines, but severity always given by the tester. Priority also can be given by the tester, but others also can change the priority. Okay, remember, very very important. So priority is not always the same, according to the time and duration which will change it. Okay, so this is a minor I have given, and as a P2, low priority. This is one bug number 3. Now let us move on to the next one, and the next failure test case is this one. Validate whether the mandatory fields in the register account page are accepting only spaces, mandatory fields. Let us see what is the test case. So click on my account drop down menu, register option, enter spaces into the mandatory fields, and click on the continue button. Just enter the spaces, not the data. And what is our expectation is warning message should be displayed for these mandatory fields. Okay, this is our expectation. So now let us try to test this. So this is my account page. Go to my account, register, and don't enter anything, just have only spaces. I'm just entering the spaces like this. Okay, I'm just entering the spaces like this. Just click on the continue. See what is saying? Warning, must you must agree the privacy policy. Okay, I'll agree this. Then what happens? So now we got some warning messages. So now we will see what is our expected as per our test case. So warning messages should be displayed for these mandatory fields. Okay, and every mandatory field should display some warning message. Now we can see this is one warning message for first name, last name, email, and password. Perfectly fine, but there is no warning message, I think, for another thing, telephone field. See this telephone field, there is no I'll also enter some space here, then continue. See this, for all the fields it is giving the warning message, but except this telephone field. See this. So telephone field is not giving any warning message, but the rest of them is giving fine. So this is a bug. So if I just go here, and telephone field accepting spaces and warning messages not getting displayed for the telephone field. Now it is got failed, and then bug idea mentioned. Now let us see the bug. So go to the fourth one. Right. So telephone field in register account page is accepting the spaces and not showing the warning message. This is the description. Now these are the steps you have to perform, and this is the expected, and this is the actual. And major and medium ambient. Major means the functionality is not working. It is not a blocker. It is a functionality is not working. So I can just give a major. And P1, I say priority is a P1 medium. But once you reaching the deadlines, you can increase the priority also. Suppose developer is not fixing the bug till end of the cycle, then priority will be increased. So here increase means it becomes a P0 now. Suppose in the day 2, it is a P1 medium priority. But once you reach a day 8 or 9, according to your testing schedules, then it becomes a P0 if the developer is not fixing. Okay, P0 means high priority. Okay, this is a one bug we found, and then let's move on to the next test cases. Next one is got passed. Now I think there is no, yeah, fifth one. So let us see what is the fifth one. So validate whether the password field in the register account page are following password complexity standards. Now what are the steps here? So we need to provide all the data, but check entering simple passwords, not following password complexity standard. That is size of the password as 8. Password should contain at least one number, symbol, lowercase letter, and uppercase. This is basically a standard password complexity standard. We can say password standard. So here we have to check actually the password complexity standards are working fine or not. Okay. So for that we need to prepare some data, and warning message should be displayed for following password complexity standards. So no warning message is getting displayed and simple password is accepted by the fields. So if I just look at here, as per our requirement, it should display some proper warning message. So let me just create a new register. Yeah. Now if I just look at here, when entering some password, right? So I'm just entering some random, it is not giving any standards like this. So it should say like password should be 8 characters or 12 characters, or it should have some number, it should contain some special symbol. That warning message should be displayed here. But that is not displayed anything here. The standard is not following here properly. Okay, but there should be some format. So we have to enter 4 digits, minimum 4 characters. It should contain some number. There are some restrictions are there, but it is not giving any help here. It is not providing any warning message here. So this is a bug. So here it is not giving any standard message there. So text field should here no warning message is getting displayed, and a simple password is also accepting in the fields. Okay, so this is a test case and it is got failed, bug number 5. Now let's go to the bug. Okay, bug number 5. So password and confirm password fields register account page are accepting simple password, and a warning message should display. That is our expectation, but it's not displayed, and this is a major functionality. Again, P1, it is not blocker, but functionality is broken. So major and a P1 means medium. So P0 means most of the time developer will fix the bug in the same day. Okay, suppose tomorrow morning you have reported the bug, end of the day the developer has to fix that bug if it is a P0, priority 0. And when I say P1, the developer can fix that bug in the next day or another 2 to 3 days, within 2 to 3 days. Or when I say P2, the developer fix that bug in the next build or next release, something like this. So it depends on the priority. The developer will decide when he has to work and when he has to deliver that bug. Okay. So suppose if it's a P0, okay, suppose it is a P0, it is a blocker defect. You reported the bug, you are not able to continue the testing. So developer has to release another build on the same day after fixing the bug. So there is no proper schedule for build release, guys. So you will get builds on the same day. You will get 2 or 3 builds also sometimes. if application is not stable and is having a lot of issues, developer may create multiple builds. Sometimes if the build is stable and if you are able to proceed further and you are able to include all the test cases properly or very minor bugs are there, then developer will release the build after 2 days or 3 days, depends on the schedule. Okay, developer will plan accordingly. So this is one bug. Okay, so similarly, there are so many bugs we have found in this. So I reported all the bugs in this document, guys. You guys can go through each and every bug and read the description and understand where exactly it is finding. But what I suggest you guys, don't see this bug report document. Okay, so without seeing this, just execute the test cases one by one. So read the steps what we have written in the test case document and execute the same steps in the application, and then find or compare expected and actual result and update the status like this. And once you updated failed or passed all the test cases, at least take one module like registration, execute all 23 test cases and note down all failures and passed, and then prepare the bug report for that. So prepare another sheet or another Excel file, specify all the bug IDs along with the description, steps, expected results, actual and severity, priority, and so on. Okay, so this is how we need to execute your test cases and find out or compare actual and expected results. First, update the status in the test case document and write the comment, write the bug ID in the comment section. So it will be useful later for reference purpose. And then create one more bug report and here list out all the bugs. So every bug is having a unique ID. Okay, so this is how we need to report the bugs, guys. Very important. And here I have executed some test cases and found some bugs randomly. And sometimes what happens is you are executing the test case and your test case is passed fine, it's working fine, but somehow in ad hoc you will find some corner bugs. You will find some corner bugs, and for that you don't have any test case. Okay, ad hoc testing, like while executing the test case, somewhere some corner scenario is not working, and for that you don't have any test case, so you can also report those as a bugs as part of ad hoc. If I just look at here in bug report, I also reported some bugs as a ad hoc, so you can just look at here. For these bugs I don't have any specific test cases. While executing the existing test cases, I found some other bugs in some corner scenarios. So I have also reported them as a bugs, but they are minor. Some of them are minor. One is critical here. There is one bug which is critical. I think that options are not displayed in the selected drop down list. So for specific product, because if the options are not displayed, we can continue further. We cannot continue further. So I just mentioned this is a critical. So for especially the product, okay, these are simple and for, we don't have any test cases for them, but we found these scenarios while executing a test cases and we observed or we noticed them as a bugs, so that we can put them in the bug report and we'll assign the severity and priority, and we can specify the steps also and we can report them to the developer. Okay, while doing exploratory testing or ad hoc testing or sanity, whatever type of testing you do, every time you no need to have a test case, guys. Okay, so if you want to rise a bug, always you no need to have a test case, even though sometimes you may not have a test case, but you found something is not working fine as per your expectation, then you can report that as a bug, and if possible include that also in some test case or write another test case to verify that scenario. Okay, or it is very minor, very small, and that is covered in some other test case somewhere in some step, not required. So that comes under again ad hoc bugs. So you can just, while doing ad hoc testing, you can also find some bugs in the corner scenarios, because we write the test cases most of the time in the happy flows, normal flows, but if you want to check any corner defects or underlying defects, it is not at all possible with the test cases sometimes. So we should test in each and everything in corner, and we have to find those defects and report them as a defects to the developer. Okay, so here in this sheet almost 23 bugs are reported, and I think which contains registration and I think as well as a login functionality. So you can just go through this. I'll share this document later. Okay, so this is how we need to execute it. Same way we have to open each and every sheet, read the test cases, execute the test cases, find out the defects, and update all the defect information to the bug report. So at the end of the day, we will send that bug report as a status, and developer will go through each and every defect, and accordingly, according to their availability, according to the priority we provided, so they will choose bugs. So in whichever order we reported, developer may not fix the bugs in the same order. Okay, developer again will check the priority and the availability of the resources, and accordingly they will fix the bug. They will give the information to you. So in which build, in which version of the build, the bugs will be fixed. So till then, you have to wait to verify those bugs. Okay, so this is actual execution and bug tracking process, guys, and this continues in multiple cycles. Okay, and suppose today you got one bill, you reported 10 bugs in the application, and you have to wait for those fixes till you get the next bill. So as soon as you get the next build, what you have to do now again, you have to deploy that build again, the new build you have to deploy. And the first thing what you have to do, again you have to do smoke testing, and then you do something called sanity retesting and regression testing on upcoming builds, on the new builds. Okay, we have already discussed about the difference between smoke and sanity. Smoke means we always perform the smoke testing on unstable builds, and after few cycles are completed, build will be stable. Then you conduct sanity testing. The basic functionality is working fine or not. Then you can accept the build, and then retesting you will do. So as whatever bugs you reported in the previous builds, the developer will fix those bugs in the upcoming builds. So first you need to retest them. So whether the bug is fixed or not, functionality is working fine or not. That is called retesting. So you do retesting in the upcoming builds. And also, because of those bug fixes, because of the new functionality which is introduced in the new build, there should not be impact on the existing functionality. So for that, you have to test the regression testing. So for that, what you have to do, you have to re-execute the same number of test cases again and again. Okay, so whatever bug fixes you got, or sometimes a developer is added a new functionality or deleted the existing functionality in the new builds. So that should not, those changes should not impact on existing functionality. So to make sure whatever test case you already executed in the previous builds, so again one more time you have to execute the test cases, especially on impacted areas. So that is called regression testing. So retesting and regression testing you keep on doing for every build, because there will be some big bug fixes. Also there may be chances to impact other functionality which is already working fine in the previous build, but in the upcoming builds there is no guarantee the same functionality work in the same way, because developer has made a lot of changes in the build. So we need to identify those impacted areas. If when I ask the developer, he will exactly tell you what is the code they have modified and what are the areas will be impacted. So accordingly, you have to conduct retesting and regression testing on each and every cycle of the testing. Okay, so this will continue till you completed all the test cycles, and at the same time, you have to make sure all bugs are fixed by the developer. Okay, that is called tracking process. Just you reported the bug, you are not, your job is not over. So you have to track the bugs. You have to keep on looking at the status of the bug, whether developer is accepted or not, developer is fixing or not, developer is delivered the bug or not, and it is retested or not, it is closed or not. Once you open the bug, until unless it is closed, you should not leave the bug. You have to take care of the bug till it is closed. You can open the bug any number of times. If developer is fixed and delivers another build, now it is still not working, again reopen the bug, same bug, again reopen, send it to the developer. So it will go multiple times between developer and tester. And once it is fixed and working fine, then you have to close the bug. Okay, so this is how exact process will happen: bug reporting and tracking. And for every cycle of the testing, whenever you receive the new build from the developer, you perform sanity testing, basic functionality testing, retesting of the bugs, and then regression testing. Make sure other areas should not be impacted because of new functionality or because of bug fixes. So this will continue till end of the cycles, multiple testing cycles, and you have to make sure once you reaching towards your deadlines, you have to make sure All the test cases should be executed. There is no pending test cases. All test cases should pass, and there are no bugs available. Maybe you have P2 or P3 bugs, very low priority, low severity bugs. One or two is fine according to the criteria, but still 100% quality product, 100% bug free product is not at all possible to release. Some underlying bugs also will be there, we cannot find it, but after started using the software in the environment or production environment, after a few days, after a few months also may get some issues, but those issues should not be critical. Okay, you have to make sure. So once everything is done, finally we will have a meeting with the team, QA, dev, or test manager, dev manager, product manager, everybody sit together and think about the exit criteria. Like they will cross check all our test cases are executed or not, passed or not, is there anything is pending, all bugs are fixed or not, how many open bugs are there. So they will consolidate all this information, and finally we agree to sign off. Okay, we can just communicate with the team, okay, we have done our testing, so build is ready for production, or build is ready to go for next cycle, that is UAT testing, user acceptance testing, and then we will sign off the testing. Okay, we will officially send an email, okay, we have done our testing part, we have done so and so testings, we have executed these many test cases, we have found these bugs and these bugs are fixed. So with all necessary documents, necessary status reports, we'll sign off the testing. Okay, and then it will move to the next UAT testing and then production. So that is not again in our scope. So we'll work with the customers also. Sometimes we will help the customers in UAT testing, we will sit together and we'll try the test cases also. They are also having their own test cases called UAT test cases, and they will execute it. So this is actual process, guys, in software testing. So you will create multiple test cases, you will execute them, you will find the bugs, report the bugs to the developer, developers again fix it, you do retesting, regression testing, functional testing, all test cases should be executed and should pass. Okay, so this is all about software testing life cycle and project. Okay, so here one more thing is, whenever you report the bug to the developers, you have to mention the build number, okay, in which version of the build you found the bug, and again developer fix the bug in the upcoming builds, and also they will update the version number in which version of the build they have fixed the bug. So every build is also having a unique ID, okay, that is called build version number, and we will maintain all the builds in the common repository from where everybody will able to access. That is called version control system or version control management. So also for that we also have different tools like VSS, GitHub. There are multiple tools also available to maintain all the builds, so we can use those tools. Okay, so that is all about software testing process and software testing project. So here, because we don't have that much of time, I have not gone through each and every test case because almost 100 plus test cases we have. So I'll share this documents links, and you guys can go through each and every test case. Don't leave even a small test case. Go to the each and every test cases and execute those test cases on the application, and then find out the defects. I have found only few defects here. You may find more number of defects. We don't know exactly. Okay. If you do testing, you may find some other defects also. And don't rely on only my defects. Don't think only these defects are having in application. You may find more number of defects also. So you can recognize other defects also apart from this. And you can also prepare the bug report your own self. You can prepare yourself. Okay, so this is all about a project. So we have done all the phases, we have gone through each and every phase in software testing project, and a lot of scenarios, a lot of functionalities are there, guys. So you can just look at here: register functionality, login, log out, forgot password, search product, compare. So a lot of scenarios we have. Each and every scenario I have written a lot of test cases, and also have executed some of the test cases and report the bugs. So you guys continue with the rest of the thing. So you guys write test cases for all the scenarios, then execute all the test cases for each scenario, and also prepare the bugs for every test case and prepare the whole document. Okay, so that's how we need to practice. So because this is a project, you have to involve more than me. So I have just given the instructions, the process, and how we have to do the activities and everything. So from now onwards, you have to work on this more. Spend some time, 1 or 2 hours every day, and do some activity on this. Initially, you will get some bored, but once you start doing this, you will get some interest, and then you will feel easiness. So once you start practicing, it will be become easy. It will not get any bored, but this is mandatory. You have to do. So to get some exposure, so to get some experience on manual testing, you have to do these activities. Okay. So that is all about manual testing project. Okay. So in the coming sessions, we'll see how we can report the bugs in the Jira tool, and we'll also see the agile process. So whatever process we have followed in the projects nowadays, most of the companies are not exactly following this process. This is just a waterfall model. Okay. Once you start agile process, then you will understand exactly how the process will happen, and also I'll show you how to work with the Jira tool. So in the Jira tool, we can track each and every activity, like development activities, testing activities, everything we can track in the Jira. And also we can write the test cases, we can update the test case execution status, pass or fail. Then also we can report the bugs, we can track the bugs, everything we can do in the Jira tool. So once you start learning Jira tool, then I'll show you how we can do all these activities using a tool. Okay, then you can understand. Okay, so that's all for this session, guys. We'll see in the next session.